Earlier today here at the Fannin County Courthouse, a special session of the grand jury was held to consider the case of Thomas Taunton. Luckily, there were no houses in danger here off of 82 where the largest area of land was burned. But one woman says the fire that was set on her property came a little too close to home. Newer technology like the smart board really helps to engage kids because it just makes it fun. I'm getting ready to take the shooting portion of the CHL licensing. We'll see how I do. Because the county fair is this week, commissioners say that the drug court has agreed to close. Since the public pool closed down several years ago, that hasn't been possible in Tishomingo. So they really count on volunteers for programs like this to help cut down on Medicare fraud. And although he wasn't charged, he was ordered to have no contact with the victim. Just one of many convenience stores hit by the burglars. 3 suspicious house fires over just the past few days. She's never really looked at Matt being autistic as a disability, but rather a challenge that they choose to meet. Okay, now I see as the way you're dressed, you are here representing the Masonic Lodge. Why is this important to the Masons? Well, Rita, I'm going to stick around and hopefully get a tour of the new facility. Back to you. The DA's office has not yet decided if they will seek the death penalty, but if they do, Glazer says it will be the first time in his 8 years in office. Live in Bonham, Jalah Gray, First News.
House to go to.
Very angry. My dog didn't deserve what she got.
On March 14th, Jim Rook says he left his 5-year-old boxer Patty home alone for the first time to go visit his sister in the hospital. When he returned later that evening, he found her on the side of the road just down the street from his house. When he got to his dog, he thought she had been hit by a car because she was laying in this ditch bleeding. It was then that a Ladonia police officer pulled up and told him he had shot the dog with a tranquilizer gun and would not allow him to take his dog for help.
At that point, he said, no, put her on the ground. She's going to the pound.
Ladonia Chief Kevin Mayberry says his officer was responding to a call about the dog running loose in someone's yard. The officer had been chasing the dog for about an hour when he decided to fire the tranquilizer gun from about 20 yards away.
We used the gun as a last resort. After all attempts are lost, if we can't catch it with a catch pole and can't catch it with a cage.
But Rook says his vet told him the injury looked more like a shot from close range.
If he was close enough to do that kind of damage with a tranquilizer gun, then he could have used a catch pole on her or a catch net.
And when he was allowed to pick Patty up from the city pound the next day, he was horrified at her condition.
She was in a 2x2 wire cage, still had her open wound that hadn't been treated, and there was feces in the bottom of the cage.
Twa Allen owns the Rainbow Bridge Animal Shelter in Bonham. She says the conditions were deplorable. So were the dog's injuries.
I don't know. If that's not abuse, I don't know what is, really.
Everyone I contact either says it's not their problem or contact your local police.
Rook claims several other area residents have witnessed the officer being cruel to dogs.
I've heard the rumors, but no one has ever came to the city with that complaint.
Allen says it's a growing problem in the entire county.
There's no justice for Mr. Rook or for any animal in Fannin County or the citizen in Fannin County.
In Ladonia, Jalah Gray, Fox Texoma News.
Speeding tickets, no insurance tickets, anything that is filed in city court.
The Denison Police Department is renovating their jail. Lieutenant Mike Epler says since it was built in the early 1970s, it's in major need of a facelift.
Several things need to be done. Again, the plumbing, there's problems with the plumbing, problems with the lighting, just different things that need to be taken care of to make it a safe facility.
We're excited for them, and of course, we're excited for ourselves, and that will open up some space.
Sheriff Keith Gary says Denison's jail renovations will benefit the Grayson County Jail as well.
Even if it was a Class C and they felt that they needed to be locked up, then they would have to come to us, so we would have to make room for them. Normally, we do not handle Cs, Class Cs, for the smaller cities.
Sheriff Gary says it's a domino effect because they're already sending overflow prisoners to Bowie County, which costs the taxpayers more money.
Right now, we have, on any given day, we'll have 20 to 25 people in Bowie County, which is Texarkana. We have them over there because we don't have room for them right now.
The police department expects the work to be done within a few weeks, so they're warning if you have any outstanding warrants, you might want to get those taken care of, or you might get to see the renovations firsthand.
When we get the facility open back up again, we will be aggressively serving these warrants. What we've been doing, of course, is bringing people in on what we call Class C misdemeanors, and PR bonding them out pretty quickly because of the renovations that needed to be done.
Epler says the renovations will be paid out of the city's contingency fund and should cost less than the budgeted $40,000.